On this episode of In the Fight, U.S. service members continue advising Afghan forces both in the classroom and on the ground. We find out what it takes to get National Guard Special Forces members to their missions. Exercise Furious Talon brings together lethal aircraft over South Korea. Scientists leave the lab for a day to show off new military technologies. And Marines in Japan endure a grueling jungle environment. Getting Afghan security forces to plan for the future is a key challenge at Train, Advise, Assist Command East, one of 5 such commands currently in Afghanistan. Defense media activity correspondent Gail McCabe shows us how U.S. soldiers are overcoming this challenge in this report.
They've got the combat power. They've got the capabilities. The confidence comes from showing them what they already know to be true. And they've had, just in our short time here in the last few months, a couple quick wins with that. Lots of bigger problems to address, however.
Colonel J.B. Vowell says the ANA are proven fighters today. The challenge is guiding them to a mindset that embraces what it takes to be ready for tomorrow's fight. The issue at hand, he says, is getting them to connect the dots.
That's a lot of force generation, getting new soldiers in, training, leader development, getting forces on the line, and just getting the logistics and sustainment functions of where do the bullets come from, where's the food come from, how do I get my vehicle that got blown up repaired or replaced entirely with a new vehicle.
For U.S. and coalition forces, it's basic military systems, processes, and approaches that keep an army running. For many Afghans, the concept of anticipating future needs on a large scale on a regular basis is new territory. Major Adisa King advises at the operations level at the 201st Corps, one of 6 ANA corps. He says the path to greater understanding is lined with patience and a willingness to step back.
We look how they own the fight and how they get after things and then continue to kind of push.
Resolute Support has advisors in 5 TACs currently employed across the country. The goal for all is to provide help in strategic functions, areas that keep security forces ready and responsive for the long term. Gail McCabe, Afghanistan.
Advising Afghan security forces isn't only happening in the classroom. Outside of Bagram Airfield, U.S. soldiers, along with Republic of Georgia troops, are focused on training Afghan forces to patrol and secure their own region. Gail McCabe tells us more in this report.
Yeah, the threat's always present. The security around Bagram is pretty good, but you'd always approach it as if it is a dangerous place. I'm not an expert, and I shouldn't speculate too much, but if I was a betting man, they'd say they'd start heading up this way soon enough.
Staff Sergeant Eric Penny is on his final patrol. The 29-year-old Marine is an advisor to the ANA who travel with him on his rounds outside the wire.
The way I see it, the advisor mission, the best advisor training I've had is being married. Just learning how to cooperate, negotiate.
The Marines and the Georgians are members of Task Force Solid. The ANA comes from the 201st Corps. Together, they conduct what's called a dismount patrol. Resolute Support gives coalition new meaning. Total coalition troop presence in all of Afghanistan is slightly more than 12,000, coming from 40 nations.
A big part of our job is to create a relationship with the Afghan people. And I'll do that as a patrol leader as well with their Georgian counterparts. Assalamu alaikum. And I'll have my Marines looking out for me.
The village is called Kalimusapain, located in the GDA, Ground Defense Area, what's known as the Bagram Bowl. The patrols are daily adventures. Each day they walk from 3 to 6 miles, depending on the village or town. The interaction with the locals does a couple of things: establishes a collective security presence, and puts Afghan forces out front, in the lead, earning the respect and trust of the people. Gil McCabe, Afghanistan.
Special forces are known for being tough, covert, and highly skilled, and National Guard members are no exception. Army Staff Sergeant Adam Fishman shows us what it takes to be a National Guard Special Forces member and how they get to and from their objectives.
In harsh conditions is where Special Forces training lives. Whether day, night, above the surface, or below, these National Guard Green Berets take their combat diver skills to entirely new depths. But arriving at a landing zone accurately and hopping on a Coast Guard response boat to get to a training location requires planning.
It's all about relationships and building relationships out here with us, especially in the Guard side of the house. So we got the regulars from 7th Group. We work with Florida Guard Aviation. We've got NAS, Naval Station Mayport here. We got the Coast Guard we use with those two. I mean, also got more aviation pieces out there. EOD was a big supporter on that side too. We use their facilities for the planning bays, and they also assisted us on the dive operations. And we hear it often said that, hey, you know, the Guard SF are the best at UW, unconventional warfare, just because of the relationships we have across the board with federal, local law enforcement, any kind of government agency out here. So for us, it's to maintain that piece and to push that piece even further.
Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Having Special Forces team there and just seeing how they work, it's definitely a different change of pace. Seeing that's a different branch, it's a different aircraft, something we don't get to encounter all the time. So me being here is really inspiring because I know that I helped them getting them ready to what they're going to do next.
From the brief and from the get-go, from the gear up and then the entry into the water, it was all kind of a valuable lesson for us. It was also a great learning curve for my guys, you know, because some of my crew has never worked with divers.
So what kind of individual becomes a National Guard Green Beret?
I got guys who are doctors, lawyers, I got guys who are PAs. You know, he's an E7, but he's a doctor on the outside, you know. I got multiple guys like that, you know, Ivy League schools, you know, you got guys, they want to be a team guy when they're here, be that E6, E7, be a team guy, and then when they go back, they're a doctor and so forth in the outside world. But that's what really makes that ODA unconventional warfare. That's why it's so important, the different mindsets they have and different capabilities they bring to the fight when it comes to that team. Some of these guys right now, if they come to drill, it's like, you know what, every time I come to drill, how do I improve the team? How do I improve myself? How do I make it that I deserve to be on this team every time I come here? And I love that stuff. You know, and it's important to me to be around those guys and keep them going.
Reporting from Naval Station Mayport for National Guard Bureau Public Affairs, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Adam Fishman.
Hello, this is Sergeant First Class Margarita Segata, and I'm with the 75th Pacific Division. I'd like to say hi to my daughters, Brianna and my daughter, McKenna, and a special hello to my husband, Sergeant First Class Walter Douglas, which is deployed overseas right now. I love you.
Hey, name's Master Sergeant Marty Knoll. Just wanted to say hi to my friends and family back home in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, from the luxurious Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, currently with the 31st AMXS. Hi, guys.
Coming up, scientists leave the lab for a day to show off new military technologies. And Marines endure a grueling jungle environment. Check out dvidshub.net for the latest accurate and reliable information as In the Fight continues. Which of the following is not the name of a U.S. attack helicopter? The answer when we return.
5 oceans. Seven continents. Whatever it takes. Wherever it takes us. America's Navy, a global force for good.
When you put on the uniform, you are held to a higher standard.
Well, a lot of times, you're not going to know what's going to be thrown at you, so you need to be ready for anything.
Stress can affect every Marine and Marine family.
It's very hard for me to have a career when we're always moving around.
We have the same bills that everybody else does.
And you never want to let your staff NCOs down.
The De-Stress Line provides anonymous counseling for Marines and Marine families when it's needed most. It takes courage to ask for help. Call today and let us help you win your personal battles.
Which of the following is not the name of a U.S. attack helicopter? The answer is C, Mamba. At Exercise Furious Talon, some of the most lethal aviation assets in the United States arsenal come together over South Korea. Army Private First Class Joseph Ailman shows us how these aircraft are teaming up to maintain their combat readiness.
As part of the Joint Combined Live Fire Training Exercise Furious Talon, AH-64 Apaches from the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade are ready to take off.
The main focus of the training is to bring multiple teams together to execute a mission that would be similar to a real-life mission we would have to perform, and to go through the mission command, communications, air movements, as well as fires integration of a forward of the FLOT mission that we would be expected to perform.
Captain Brown tells us where the name of the training, Furious Talon, came from.
Yeah, so 2CAB's call sign is Talon. It is a 2CAB-led training event. There's been, all the assets involved have been actively planning with us. So, while the name is Furious Talon, it represents all the other assets that are part of this mission here.
Army Private Joel Lamont, Rodriguez Live Fire Complex, Korea.
Inspecting and repairing expensive parts is a key way to save money and save lives. Non-destructive inspection technicians of the 49th Maintenance Squadron play a pivotal role in this process at Holloman Air Force Base. Airman First Class Jatori Johnson shines some light on their work and files this report.
The Non-Destructive Inspection Shop, or NDI, at Holloman Air Force Base plays a very important role in keeping pilots safe in the air. NDI technicians are skilled in detecting the smallest cracks and defects in various metal objects.
We use different test methods and inspection methods to find cracks and corrosion on the aircraft. We use X-ray, ultrasonics, eddy current, fluorescent magnetic particle, fluorescent penetrant, and we use those to find cracks when there is a scheduled inspection or a possible crack that a crew chief or someone else in maintenance will come across and they need it verified.
So going over a good area. One of the more commonly requested NDI operations is the Joint Oil Analysis Program. NDI potentially saves lives and money by analyzing the oil of F-16s after every flight to assure none of the engine components are excessively deteriorating.
I like my job because it's very interesting. There's something new every day. It's never the same thing. We do get routine parts that come in very often, but you're always finding different cracks or a different possible crack that you'll have to go out and inspect, and you're always learning different methods and different techniques to perfect your methods. There's always something new you can learn about it.
Reporting from Holloman Air Force Base, New Mexico, I'm Airman First Class Jatori Johnson.
When we think of our nation's military, we might think of those facing combat on the ground, in the air, or at sea. But there are also thousands of Department of Defense members who serve on the front lines of technology from the confines of their laboratories. Air Force Senior Airman Nicholas Alter talks to some of these scientists and engineers outside of the lab.
The Pentagon hosted its first ever Lab Day this week, when the DoD's top scientists and engineers got to shed their white lab coats and demonstrate their hard work for generals, members of Congress, and even school children.
DoD Lab Day as a whole is really highlighting the over 38,000 scientists and engineers at over 60 laboratory locations that exist around the United States and actually around the world.
Some of those engineers are shaping the future of our Air Force.
Powered by airmen, fueled by innovation. We believe at Air Force Research Lab, we are the Air Force's center of innovation.
The Air Force believes the advancements created in the research lab in propulsion, electronic processing, and human performance help maintain the air superiority gap between the U.S. and its adversaries. They do so with the 3 R's.
Dealing with today is the R of responsiveness, and you'll see that where we're rapidly transitioning our technologies to our battlefield airmen. We also have the part of being relevant, and when we talk about relevancy, that's where we're continuing to mature the tech base. And in our 3rd R is we talk about things that are revolutionary, and it means that we know we have to get smart in an area like the quantum sciences. We're not quite sure how it's going to change Air Force operations, and so we invest not only in the projects, but also in the people.
This cutting-edge technology is used to fully equip America's airmen, and the Pentagon is where these scientists and engineers hope to emphasize their roles in today's fight.
And so anytime that we can come in and show key decision makers what we do in our enterprise, there's incredible value in doing that.
And it's just our opportunity to bring just a sampling of the research and development and the scientific and technical research that we're doing.
It may just be one day away from the lab, but it may be the first step that leads to the next great discovery. Reporting from the Pentagon, I'm Senior Airman Nicholas Alder.
In order to fight and survive wherever they are called, service members often need to learn to endure different environments. A group of Marines in Japan are getting familiar with one unique environment, the jungle. Marine Sergeant Matthew Callahan catches up with them as they complete their jungle training with a grueling endurance course.
In Jungle Warfare Training Center, they teach you mainly to patrol through the jungle, setting up patrol bases, individual skills such as knot tying, hasty rappelling, conducting operations that an infantry battalion would be anticipated to do.
Hasty rappelling was actually one of the more enjoyable parts of JWTC. I absolutely hate heights, but the hasty rappelling is fun. It's anytime you come upon a pretty decent downslope, but not a vertical face. You just tie a rope off at the top, throw it down the decline, and the best way to do it, this is gonna sound stupid, but the best way to do it is just run. You run. Don't look where you're going. Don't try to put your feet certain places because you're going to fall. If you just run full speed, you'll be all right. You jump down into this pit full of water.
You're skull dragging through some mud. You're going under some of the water obstacles themselves. You're crawling through sea wire.
And then they've got a booby trap. It's concrete blocks, like 2 cinder blocks, with a sheet of plexiglass over the top. You lay there, wiggle your way through with your rifle, on your chest. Just kind of slowly wiggle your way backwards without disturbing that plexiglass. If you touch that plexiglass, not make it fall off, if you touch that plexiglass, everybody in a 5-meter area is dead and has to go back to the beginning.
From where you already are, very uncomfortable, takes you to the next level. About 80% of the area that we're operating in the Pacific region is a jungle environment. The reason that we need to be proficient at our job in a jungle environment is because at any time we could be called upon to, deploy to those areas to provide aid, security assistance, whatever the case may be.
Hello, I'm Master Sergeant Chris Shepard, currently serving at IED Air Base, Qatar, serving with the 379th Air Expeditionary Communications Squadron. I'd like to take this time to give a warm shout out to my wife, Jennifer, and my 2 daughters, Vivica and Amelia. I miss you, love you, I'll be home soon.
Hi, my name is Senior Airman Tyler Kephart. I'm part of the 455th EFSS here at Bagram. And I'd like to give a shout out to my wife and kids. I miss you guys, I love you. And to all my family members, I love you all.
Coming up, a soldier volunteers to show us the effects of non-lethal pepper spray. And we'll showcase some of the best photos from our service members, as In the Fight, presented by Divids, continues. What do the initials for OC spray, commonly called pepper spray, stand for? The answer when we return.
want to give a shout out to my family and friends.
I want to send a shout out to my husband,
to my parents, my family back home.
I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend.
To my family and friends in Lansing, Michigan.
To my family out in Tucson, Arizona.
To my beautiful wife and children in Des Moines, Iowa.
To everybody in Texas.
In York, Pennsylvania.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Chicago, Illinois.
Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Orlando, Florida. Oceanside, California.
And Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
I love you guys. I miss you. And I hope I'll see you soon.
The call to serve. It has no sound, yet I have heard it in the whispered retelling of honorable sacrifices made by those who have served before me. The call to serve has no form, yet I have clearly seen it in the eyes of men and women infinitely more courageous and more driven than most. The call to serve has no weight, yet I have held it in my hands. I will commit to carry it close to my heart until my country is safe and the anguish of those less fortunate has been soothed. The call to serve is at once invisible and always present. And for those who choose to answer the call, for their country, for their fellow man, for themselves, it is the most powerful force on earth. America's Navy, a global force for good. To answer the call, go to Navy.com or call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
What do the initials for OC spray, commonly called pepper spray, stand for? The answer is A, oleoresin capsicum. African Lion is a joint combined exercise enabling the Royal Moroccan Armed Forces and coalition forces to strengthen relationships in the region. Army specialist Rod Evans shows us firsthand how U.S. forces are demonstrating the effectiveness of non-lethal pepper spray as a deterrent, and also how to maintain control when subjected to its painful effects.
OC. Right now, Specialist Evans is experiencing a burning sensation in his eyes. His mucus is running down his nose. It's hard for him to breathe. But Bill's cough is showing him that he is still able to function in a combat environment. Get back! Get back! Get back! Of course, it's designed to show that the effects of the OC spray, enabling him to understand that he can still work, still go after the enemy with the OC spray in his face. Bill's confidence. Allows him to know that we've taken advantage of the enemy once we use OC spray. Show your eyes. Get back! Tell me get back! Get back! Get back! The importance of the spray is that you understand the enemy is not totally incapacitated when he is sprayed with OC. However, you can still fight through whatever the situation may be. Get him down, take him down, take him down! Take him down, Evans! Come to command! The U.S., the Netherlands, and Belgium, as well as the Moroccans, are learning many non-lethal systems. But as I can attest to, the use of OC spray is very effective. Just blink, don't rub, just blink it out, blink it out, blink it out. Don't rub. Reporting for the 49th pad, I'm Specialist Rod Evans here in Tifton, Morocco.
After a typhoon recently struck Guam, the entire island was littered with hundreds of tons of debris. As Airman First Class Francesca Pancham reports, service members on the island quickly teamed up for a beach cleanup.
The island of Guam recently endured a powerful Category 2 typhoon, causing substantial damage and power outages throughout the entire island. Service members came together to clean up the aftermath that was left on the beaches of Andersen Air Force Base after a week-long cleanup effort. Approximately 2,000 airmen, soldiers, and sailors assembled around Taragi and Serena Beach to lend a hand in bringing the base and its beaches back to normal.
This area right here in Taragi took a pretty substantial hit, and everything that you see down there on the beach had a lot of shrubbery, had a lot of greenery, and it's gone now.
This dedication to recover Andersen's beaches boosts morale and gives service members a sense of pride and encouragement.
It's a fantastic thing to see how all the services are interacted and how we're working together in this joint team environment. It's a spectacular thing to see.
After the final recovery event on Taraagi and Serena beaches, participants had collected a total of 829 tons of debris from plants and trees by the end of the week-long cleanup. This week-long event brought Team Anderson together by restoring the future use of base facilities. Reporting from Anderson Air Force Base, Guam, I'm Airman First Class Francesca Panchin.
DVIDS is a 24/7 operation that provides a timely, accurate, and reliable connection between the media and the military serving worldwide. Through a network of over 200 portable satellite transmitters around the globe and a distribution hub in Atlanta, Georgia, DVIDS gives you access to the front lines with live and archived broadcast video, still imagery, and print products. Visit our website at dvidshub.net and search through our enormous video and photo library. Register on our website to gain complete access to high-definition content, along with breaking news alerts and webcasts from top military officials. For questions or comments about In the Fight or DVIDS, you can email us at ondemand@dvidshub.net or follow us on Twitter and Facebook. As we close, we feature some of the best photos that DVIDS has to offer as we listen to Eddie Horst's composition, Pangea. See you next time, In the Fight.